Thank you for watching this recording on the Earned Incentive Release Credit Review Rollout Timeline through the Minnesota Rehabilitation and Reinvestment Act, or MRRA. In this presentation, we will focus on the Earned Incentive Release requirements, the timeline for rollout of the Earned Incentive Release review process across the department, and we'll share some examples of how the criteria in each phase might apply. We'll begin with reviewing the requirements for Earned Incentive Release and each phase within the rollout timeline. At a minimum, to be eligible for Earned Incentive Release, you must not be serving a life or indeterminate sentence, must not be subject to good time, must not be serving a non-Minnesota sentence, must have had over 1 year to serve upon admission to prison, must not have any pending criminal cases or open warrants, detainers, or custodial obligations to another jurisdiction. This would include out-of-state warrants and individuals under commitment who will transfer to a secure setting upon release from prison. You must not be very high risk according to the MinStar. You must not be assigned a predatory offender level 3 by the end of confinement review committee. You must not be within 6 months of your current confinement release date, and you must have already served or be within 6 months of serving 50% of your executed sentence, and you must have completed required recidivism reduction programming. Beyond the criteria covered in the prior slide, each phase includes additional requirements. Phase 1 began in February of 2026. In Phase 1, individuals must be low or medium risk, must not have any formal discipline during their current incarceration, and must not have any offenses on the MRRA, Earned Incentive Release, Deferred Review Offense List. The Deferred Review Offense List is posted within each facility and should be located and reviewed to know if it applies to you. Phase 2 is scheduled to begin in September of 2026. In Phase 2, individuals may be low, medium, or high risk, must not have any offenses on the MRRA, Earned Incentive Release, Deferred Review Offense List, and must only have limited formal discipline. Phase 3 is scheduled to begin in March of 2027. In Phase 3, individuals may be low, medium, or high risk, must only have limited formal discipline. Phase 3 will discontinue use of the MRRA, Earned Incentive Release, Deferred Review Offense List, meaning that beginning in March of 2027, there will be no delay in review based on an offense. Phase 4 is scheduled to begin in late 2027 and will represent full-scale implementation. When we refer to limited formal discipline, that means an individual must not have had any level 1, 2, or 3 violations within the past 2 years and must not have had any level 4 or 5 violations within the past 10. Phase 1 of Earned Incentive Release Review rollout began in February of 2026. It began at Faribault, Moose Lake, and Shakopee. In March of 2026, review expanded to Lino Lakes and Stillwater. In June of 2026, review will then expand to St. Cloud and Red Wing, and in November of 2026, review is scheduled to expand to Oak Park Heights and Rush City. Each phase of Earned Incentive Release Review rollout will follow the same sequencing of facilities, beginning in Faribault, Moose Lake, and Shakopee, then moving to Lino Lakes and Stillwater, then St. Cloud and Red Wing, and closed out at Oak Park Heights and Rush City. We'll now share some examples of how the requirements in each phase could apply to specific individuals. While these are not real cases, they show how the factors could affect someone and how and when they could be reviewed for Earned Incentive Release. We'll begin with Samantha Strawberry, who came to Shakopee in 2022 for a drug sales conviction. Samantha's assessments noted education and employment as her highest needs. She agreed that education and employment were important, and she was very motivated to complete programming. Samantha worked hard in education and earned her GED. She is currently participating in the Employ program, learning about her job interests and building skills. Because Samantha remained discipline free and is addressing her highest needs through programming and meets all other requirements, she may request review for earned incentive release once she completes the Employ program. Individuals like Samantha who have completed programming and addressed their highest needs may request review for earned incentive release in phase 1 when the review process comes to their facility. Again, you can see here the schedule for phase 1. The next example is Daryl Dragonfruit. He came to prison in May of 2024 for criminal vehicular operation resulting in substantial bodily harm. His high needs were noted as substance use, self-identity, and antisocial peers. Daryl completed Thinking for a Change and is currently on the waitlist for substance use disorder treatment. One day, Daryl got into an argument with a peer over use of the phone. Rather than walking away and staying focused on his goals, Daryl shoved the peer and they began physically fighting. As a result, Daryl received formal discipline. Because Daryl received formal discipline, he will not be able to request review for earned incentive release during phase 1. If he is reviewed in future phases, he will address the discipline in his success planner, noting other ways he could have managed the situation and skills he has learned since the fight. There are many individuals like Daryl who have had one or more violations while incarcerated. While having discipline will delay their review, it does not exclude them indefinitely. Reviewing individuals who have shown positive and productive behavior, even before MRRA was a law, fits with the goal of incentivizing rehabilitative programming completion and pro-social growth and change. Discipline will complicate review processes and require more time, which is why the phased approach prioritizes those who are low risk, have completed programming, and have not had any formal discipline. This will allow reviews to happen more quickly, allowing staff to focus their attention on providing support and resources to others. The final example is Mario Muskmelon. He came to St. Cloud in 2001 for a murder conviction on a non-life sentence. His high needs were noted to be substance use, family domestic, and employment. Mario has participated in many programs, is discipline-free, and focused on improving himself and accepting responsibility for his past decisions. Mario will not be able to request review for earned incentive release during phase 1 or phase 2, as murder is on the MRRA deferred review offense list. However, Mario still has an outdate, 2/3 of his executed sentence. If Mario remains eligible, he could request review in phase 3, which is scheduled to begin in March of 2027. There are many individuals like Mario who have done very well while incarcerated, improving themselves, and are eager to be reviewed. We recognize how frustrating it might feel to those individuals and their loved ones that their review is delayed based on their offense. The deferred review offense list is necessary to manage the DOC's ability to carry out required aspects of review and to provide time to gain experience, finalize and improve processes, and for broad victim notification processes to be completed. While this means that some individuals will transition to the community on their 2/3 release date and not sooner, we believe this is a critical step to introducing MRRA in an effective and responsible way. Information on MRRA is posted within facilities. Please carefully review the memos and updates to understand which phase your facility is currently operating within. If you meet all of the criteria and requirements, you may submit a checklist to the MRRA team. Please note, if you do not meet all requirements, do not submit a checklist, as that will delay the review process for you and others. Keep in mind that eligibility criteria will expand during each phase, so watch for updates and pay attention to when you might be eligible to request review. If you're not currently eligible, or your facility is not currently offering earned incentive release credit review, we encourage you to stay focused on positive, productive behavior. The deferred review offense list is temporary, so if you have an offense on that list, stay focused on what you can do to put yourself in the best position for review in future phases. If you aren't currently low risk according to the MinStar, you're encouraged to work on programming, services, and engage in behavior that will help to reduce your score if possible. If you have formal discipline, avoid any further infractions. Thank you for watching this recording on the Earned Incentive Release Credit Review Rollout Timeline.